Yeah. Well, from what I'm hearing, the Tigers are in Norfolk right now, scouting some of these guys that they could potentially acquire.
That's Baltimore's minors.
Yeah, that is Baltimore's minor team. So for me, Jackson Holiday, Samuel Basalo, and Kobe Mayo, those three guys could all be called up the day we made that trade.
Yeah.
I don't have the Bally app, but if I did and they made that specific trade, I'd still be intrigued because realistically, all three of those guys could really be called up the day that trade is made. And what those guys would do to this team, it would be very exciting to watch. It'd be hard to not see our boy every 5 days. But man, you look at all of the old, whether it's the Sale trade, the Verlander trade, even the Miggy trade, those guys, those prospects that we picked up and those teams got in those trades, who's Cameron Maybin? So even though last week I was talking that they probably should move him, those are the only three that I would take for him. Now, Spencer Jones and some J-Dom, that would also be pretty exciting, but I'm starting to want to hold.
So all of these names that you're naming outside of Jackson Holiday because of who his dad was, I know nothing about. And I'm sure they're high-level prospects, and I'm sure they're great. And if they made the trade and it worked out, I'm sure I'd change my opinion on it. I just have a hard time believing that you could trade the best pitcher in the American League, the best pitcher in baseball. You have him on your team, and you're gonna, instead of not locking him up, you're gonna trade him. And I have a hard time believing that that's something that is in the best interest of this organization. And that is the best case scenario is if all three of, or four or five of those names that you said, all of them have to hit, and all of them have to hit big. They just can't be random major leaguers that fill out a lineup. They all have to be superstars. 2 of them, 3 of them.
Look at Bobby Witt, what he's doing. His dad, how he played. I mean, you need that.
Bobby Witt
what you're saying.
Bobby Witt is an MVP candidate.
He is.
So now if you give me an MVP candidate back in another piece, I think it's definitely something you have to look at. I'm glad the Tigers are in Norfolk. That makes me feel confident that they're doing their homework on all of these players. And maybe you say, look, there's 6 teams we have to jump.
It's tough.
It's not realistic. I just think Tairk Skubal is so good. And when you do get good, and the hope is that you will be great one day, man, when you do make the playoffs, wouldn't you like to fill out Skubal's name in game 1? Or how about in game 5 or in game 7 or in game 163?